Today, I want to share 3 ways in which I make calming practices for children fun. Now, I have been working with children, with my own children. I've been doing kids yoga classes, and I've been teaching these in schools, studios, community centers ever since 2017 after my first kids yoga teacher training. And so I've been doing this quite a while now, right? And one thing that I have noticed is that calming practices don't always look so calm, right? You can go in with the best of intentions, you can go in with your calm energy, but that doesn't mean that the kids are going to automatically calm down, right? So today I want to share how we can invite children into this practice more, how we can support them with calm without forcing it, without faking it, right? Because that is not going to be helpful, especially in terms of emotional regulation, where we're talking about, regulating our nervous system. And in order to do this, we need to feel safe, right? And we need to feel that calm in a very real way, not in a, sit down, shut up kind of way. So 3 ways in which I do this is what we are talking about today. And the reason I say 3 ways of making it fun is because fun is a really important way of doing this, right? Because we are meeting our kids where they are. They learn so much through play. And so by making this fun, we're making it accessible to them. We're making this possible for them. So the first thing I do is I don't force it. Okay, I support it. And what I mean by this is I focus on trying to create this calm space, not like force it, but if they need to move first, we'll move first. If one calming practice isn't working for them, let's see what will work for them. Meeting them exactly where they are. That's actually the second thing, is meeting them exactly where they are. So this is all about using playful breaths, right? We're using even some games and letting them know that whatever they are feeling is okay, right? So we're not forcing, like, you need to be happy, you need to feel this, this needs to be all sunshine and rainbows, right? We're not doing that. Instead, we're not forcing it, we're just supporting them as they are. So let's lead it right into the second one, meeting them where they are. What does that mean? Okay, so what does it mean to meet your child where they are? Well, first, we want them to be able to check in with themselves, right? So this is where we're building that self-awareness. And also, can they express how they're feeling? So one really fun way of doing this is a really good way of introducing this concept of noticing where your energy is. I make it really dramatic. If you have a big space, even better for this one, especially with, like, when I'm doing this with a big group in the classrooms and stuff. But with my own kids, this would be the length of our kitchen, or the whole, like, the corridor, like, whatever it is. Find some space where, there's point A and there's point B. So the first side, you start as close as you can to one side, and at this side you are so tired. I mean, on the floor, really ready to sleep. You're just so tired. And I make a joke here, like, It could be your grown-ups before they have their cup of coffee. How tired are they acting then? And so really dramatic. How does that look? Really tired. And then we step forward, and with each step, they start waking up a little bit more. So okay, I have a little bit of energy now. I'm still quite tired. I'm still yawning. Ooh, and then it's like, oh, I'm feeling okay. Then you get, and you're like, oh, got a bit of a spring in my step. And at the end, we're like, it's party time. And we're jumping up and down, having a dance. And this is such a fun way to start a session as well, because you've got this energy, you've got this movement. Oh, it's not quiet. We're doing the calming practices, and it's not really quiet and in stillness. Okay, a little bit of a surprise there. And so then we do it backwards. Okay, we're at party time. Oh, okay, the energy's starting to go. I'm still a little bit dancy. Okay, just gonna stroll along. Starting to yawn, bit tired. I'm crawling on the floor. I just want to get on the telly and watch the screens, play Xbox, and just have some fun with it. Right? Be really overly dramatic. Let them show their dramatic flair off there. And then you ask them, okay, can you stand where your energy feels today? This is such a good way to gauge where are they right now? Are they really tired? Are they down here, ready to go to sleep? They might want some calming practices right away. Are they at party time? Are they at party time? They've got so much energy. We need to move a little before we start bringing it down. We need to do a kind of gateway to calm, right? So not the stillness, not the meditation, not the super calm stuff. Maybe something a little bit more calm, then a little bit more calm, then we can work towards it, right? So kind of like on that scale again of like energetic to calm. That's what we want. We want to meet them where they are and then bring them to that calming practice, especially if you're doing it because you want them get ready for bed, it's time for sleeping, or something like that. We want to lead them to that calm. So once we know where their energy is, we can go, okay, what does your body need in this moment? So sometimes they can be at party time and they need some grounding, okay? So, but maybe it's not stillness that's going to ground them. It could be, it could still be a meditation, to be honest, like a walking meditation. It could be practicing some mindfulness like that. There's so many different ways we can meet them, right? And the point I think I'm trying to make is don't be afraid to get really energetic before calming it down, because sometimes that's just what's needed. That is part of calming down. Okay, because this is not forced like the first thing, not forcing it. This is how we can bridge the gap. We can bridge that gap to the calm. So we don't always have to start with complete stillness, focusing on the breath. We can do a few other things to help meet them where they are. The third thing I do to make this more fun is to practice with them. So I'm not practicing at them. And what I mean by this is so often when families start a yoga practice, breathwork practice, whatever it may be, a calming practices of some sort, it will be that role of I am the teacher, you're going to copy everything I do, or let's put a video on and copy, you're going to just copy that. I'm going to sit over here, have my cup of tea. Okay? So sometimes we need that cup of tea, right? But we need to practice with them, and that is the power of it. And I noticed this with my own kids as well. It was so different practicing with a group, with a class. And Even when I'm teaching in those schools and in the classes, you want to be really with them. Yes, we want to show them these amazing tools, techniques. We want to show them how they can do this practice, but we want them to be a part of it. Okay? We don't want them to be just, hey, listen to everything I say and do, copy me, and you have no input. A lot of the times there will be a lot of co-creation, and that is the best lessons I have ever done, are always ones where we are co-creating. And this can be them deciding what calming practice we're going to end with, them deciding what game they want to play today, them deciding where their energy is, what we need today, right? So I always go in with a plan, and then I am always open to changing that plan to do those first two things, not forcing calm and meeting children where they are. I'm very much with them. I'm not practicing at them. So, they don't want a lecture. They they want to explore this practice. They want to really be involved, and I feel like we can learn just as much from them when we are being this present with them. So I see myself as a co regulator, right? I am co regulating beside them. And this is one reason I love practicing in circles where possible. So when I'm working with big groups and we have the space, I like to practice everyone in a circle. And so then it's not like me in the front and then them. We're all in it together, which is so important, especially with a family yoga practice. You want this to be your practice together. They gotta they gotta be a part of it, right? They gotta have their voice, and this is gonna help them with building confidence, letting their creativity come through. And it's a practice of yoga ourselves, right? As well, that letting go of control, of just being really present with what is. So when we can do these three things, that makes these calming practices more fun because they can feel the benefits of them because they are led there gently. They can be what they need in that moment rather than forced. It's like the natural next step is to practice that calming activity after some energetic stuff, or having that little break in the afternoon that is needed. And when I talk about fun, it's not always like this energetic fun. It can just be a little bit playful. Okay, and that matters as well. Like the candle breathing, where you have your fingers as candles and you're blowing out each candle, practicing things like balloon belly breath, things like this, right? We're making it playful. And when we're doing this and they're enjoying the practice, they're much more likely to want to return to this practice. And that makes it so much easier, right? When your kid's actually enjoying something, makes it so much easier to repeat and be more consistent with this. So we're teaching them gently and consistently. We're meeting them where they are. We're helping them with self-awareness, checking in with where they're at so that we can meet them where they are. And this isn't just like, oh, this is really cute, right? This is neuroscience. It's strategy, and this is the heart of emotional resilience. So it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to look a certain way. I've got that so many times, like, oh, didn't sound like you were doing yoga in there. It's part of it, right? And it's such an important part. And it's so important to let go of what you think calm these calm practices should look like, and really embrace exploring these together. And that is how you're going to see a difference in your child. This is how you're going to see a difference in bringing those calming practices to your home. So, if you want to get started, I do have my free breath work guide for supporting kids. So, 5 fun, playful practices that you can do together at home. And I've got supporting videos with that as well. So, it's not like just about knowing different practices, it's like these are the ones to do today. Go and do it because we don't want to know more. We want to actually start practicing. That is the change we want to create, right? So all of that is going to be in the show notes. So get your hands on that. And I will see you again real soon. Enjoy your calming practices together. Have fun.